Before the crown, before the giant, before the songs of the warrior poet who would shape kingdoms and echo into eternity, there was a house, a lineage, a slow-moving river of ordinary lives, trials, migrations, wars, reconciliations, betrayals, and promises, stretching backward through time until it almost becomes myth. This is the story of Jesse's house, a family line older than kings, older than Israel, older than the fields where shepherds keep watch. A genealogy not written in sterile lists, but carved into the world by the footsteps of real people. Tonight, we walk that ancient road. We follow the bloodline that leads to Jesse, then to David, and further, far beyond. Let us begin not with Jesse, but with the man whose life would form the root system of everything that follows, Judah. Before Israel was a kingdom, before 12 tribes marched under banners, they were a family, a large wandering family riding the desert winds. Among the sons of Jacob was Judah, third of the patriarch's wives, a man neither angel nor saint, a man of dust, passion, mistakes, and destiny. Judah grows in the shadow of Joseph's brilliance, Joseph the dreamer, the favored son. Jealousy burns like wildfire. Judah speaks the words that change history. Let us sell him. In that moment, Judah becomes both betrayer and survivor. Years later, hunger drives him and his brothers to Egypt, where Judah confronts the prime minister, Joseph, now unrecognizable. In a trembling voice, Judah begs to become a slave in place of his youngest brother. It is the first time the lion bows to protect the weak. From this moment, Judah is transformed. The lion is born. But destiny is not gentle. Judah's own family spirals into tragedy, sons dying, promises broken, a complicated story with a Canaanite woman named Tamar. Tamar, desperate and courageous, ensures the lineage will live. She gives birth to twins, Perez and Zerah, two cries that pierce the veil of hopelessness. From Perez, the line marches onward. Perez's name means breakthrough. He is literally born by pushing past his brother in the womb, a fighter from the moment of breath. His life is quieter than his birth, but he becomes the father of a clan that grows powerful in Judah. In the chaos of early Israelite settlement, Perez's descendants are known as builders of cities, of fields, of legacies. From Perez comes Hezron, then Ram, then Amminadab, each generation adding stones to the foundation of a nation. They lived during turbulent times, the rise and fall of tribal alliances, the first whispers of organized worship, and the creeping influence of surrounding nations. But their most pivotal moment comes through a woman who does not begin inside the family of Israel. Nahshon, the man who stepped first. Amminadab fathers Nahshon, a name buried in many lists, but a giant in Israel's memory. According to ancient tradition, when the Red Sea refused to part, when thousands of Israelites stood trembling before the crashing waves and the chariots behind them, one man stepped forward, Nahshon. He walked into the water until it touched his chin. Only then did the sea tear open. Nahshon becomes the chief of Judah during the wilderness years, bold, complicated, the kind of leader who feels the weight of an entire tribe on his shoulders. His sister, Elisheba, marries Aaron, the first high priest. Judah's blood and Levi's calling intertwine. Nahshon fathers Salmon, a name that seems ordinary, until destiny brings him to a ruined city and a woman with a scandalous past. Rahab and Salmon, a union unlikely. The city is Jericho, its walls thick, its streets tense as whispers of approaching Israelites fill the air. Inside is a woman, Rahab, a prostitute, a survivor of a brutal culture. A woman who hides 2 Israelite spies under the reeds of her roof and lies to her own city to save them. She ties a scarlet cord in her window, a mark of faith, fear, and hope. When Jericho falls, she survives. This is where Salmon appears, a man of Judah, a man of whose tribe has seen miracles and rebellion alike. Imagine their meeting, a former Canaanite outcast, a prince of Judah's tribe, 2 unlikely souls building something new out of the ruins around them. From their union comes Boaz, a bridge between 2 worlds, Israelite and Canaanite, noble and outcast, judgment and mercy. Boaz is raised with a mother who understands redemption firsthand. This will matter more than anyone knows. Boaz, the gentle giant of Bethlehem. Now we enter Bethlehem centuries before David's birth. Here, Boaz grows into a landowner, not cruel like many men of power, but steady, noble, observant of the widow, the foreigner, and the poor. Perhaps because he was raised by Rahab, he sees what others overlook. One day, during the barley harvest, he notices a young foreign woman gathering fallen stalks behind his reapers. Her name is Ruth, a Moabite, a widow, an outsider in every way. And yet, something about her draws him, her loyalty, her humility, her bravery in a world where widows vanish into dust. Their story becomes a quiet, slow-burning tale of kindness, 2 lonely hearts choosing compassion over fear. Boaz marries Ruth. Their child is Obed. Obed grows up in Bethlehem among wheat fields, shepherds, and stone terraces. He has his father's gentleness and his mother's resilience. His life is not loud, not filled with dramatic wars or kingdoms, but the strength of Obed is found in his devotion to family and the work of his hands. He fathers Jesse, a boy whom the elders say carries the weight of 2 worlds, the world of Israelite tradition and the world of foreign blood, Canaanite through Rahab, Moabite through Ruth. Little do they know how important that mixture of worlds will be. Jesse, patriarch of Bethlehem. Jesse grows into a respected figure in Bethlehem, neither a warlord nor a prophet, but landowner with deep roots. He marries, fathers 8 sons and 2 daughters, and becomes a representative of his community at tribal gatherings. We picture him sitting beneath a fig tree, calculating harvest yields, walking the fields at dawn, teaching his sons the law and the land. One of those sons, tall, handsome, strong, stands above the rest, Eliab. Everyone assumes he will shape the future. But in Jesse's house, the future is often hiding where no one expects it. And so, as Jesse grows older, his youngest boy is tending sheep far from the house. David, a boy barely noticed, a boy with a slingshot and a singing voice, a boy whose presence is so ordinary that when Samuel arrives with fire in his eyes and oil in his horn, Jesse forgets to call him. But this story is not yet David's, it is the story of the house that produced him. A house built from the broken, the noble, the foreign, the faithful. A house where God molds kings from shepherds. Before David lifts a sling, the genealogy of Jesse's house has already fought giants, moral giants, cultural giants, spiritual giants. The house of Jesse carries every victory and every scar of the generations before. Samuel's visit. Samuel arrives in Bethlehem under cloak of secrecy. The town trembles. Prophets rarely visit without judgment. Jesse brings his sons. Eliab stands first, magnificent, the perfect king. Samuel shakes his head. Abinadab, Shammah, 4 more. Each time the prophet's answer is silence. Confusion thickens. Samuel turns to Jesse. Are these all your sons? An awkward
pause, averted eyes, a half smile. There is still the youngest. He keeps a sheep. David arrives smelling of fields and wind, hair sun-bleached, eyes bright with curiosity. The moment Samuel sees him, time seems to slow. Rise, anoint him. Oil runs down David's hair, pooling at his feet. The future of Israel shifts. Behind this moment is the weight of every generation we have walked. Judah's repentance, Tamar's courage, Rahab's faith, Ruth's loyalty, Boaz's kindness, Obed's steadiness, Jesse's quiet leadership. Each ancestor adding one thread to a tapestry that culminates in this moment, the choosing of a shepherd boy. The genealogy revealed. We zoom out now, far beyond Jesse's house. This genealogy is not random, it is deliberate, sculpted by history, choice, suffering, and faith. From Judah's line would come future kings, from Rahab's scarlet thread, deliverance, from Ruth's loyalty, steadfast love, from Jesse, lineage, from David, kingdom, and centuries later, from the line of David, a carpenter, a young woman, and a birth in a stable. Jesse's house becomes more than a family, it becomes a promise carried through shepherds and foreigners, the broken and the brave. The legacy, what the lineage teaches us. Jesse's genealogy shows us a sweeping truth. Greatness is rarely born from perfect beginnings. Look at the names again. Judah, a flawed man redeemed by compassion. Tamar, wronged but courageous. Rahab, a Canaanite woman who chose faith. Ruth, a foreigner who chose loyalty. Boaz, a man who embodied kindness. Obed, quiet strength. David, unexpected greatness. This is a lineage made not of paragons, but of real people, broken people, courageous outsiders, families stitched together from sorrow and hope. It tells us that destiny is not reserved for the flawless. It grows in houses like Jesse's, ordinary, imperfect, human. The doorway to kings. As David's harp begins to echo through Israel's hills, the genealogy of Jesse's house becomes more than history. It becomes identity. The tribes begin to speak of root and branch, the growth of a nation from a single house in Bethlehem. Poets call it the stem of Jesse. Prophets say, a shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. A hope, a dawn, a promise that even when the tree appears cut down, life will rise again. Jesse's house is not the end, it is the beginning. From Judah to Jesse, from Jesse to David, from David to all the kingdoms that follow. The genealogy of Jesse's house is the quiet heartbeat behind centuries of history. It tells us where kings come from, where faith grows, where courage is born, where redemption writes its longest stories. It teaches us that no house is too humble, no lineage too fractured, for destiny to rise from it like dawn from the hills of Bethlehem. This is the legacy of Jesse's house. And this is where the story of David truly begins.